Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and dreamers of all ages, welcome to the Disney Countdown Show.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Disney Countdown Show with your two hosts, I, the Dapper Danielle, and my lovely, lovely co-host representing the North, East, South, West Coast. Megan, the magical millennial.
You got there. You got there.
Oh my goodness. I was like, oh no, I'm about to say East Coast because I always say East Coast over here. And I was like, wait, no, she's on the other one. West. Hello, babe.
Yes. Hi. Doing good over here on the West Coast. Yes, I am. Oh man, we're slowly getting the swing of things. I am on my second cup of coffee right now.
I feel that.
So it's just going great. It's going great on this Tuesday morning. I know that this is going to air on a Monday. Right now it is Tuesday, but we're making it through. How are you doing, Danielle?
I'm doing pretty good. So actually, I just came back from a little one night staycation over at Pop Century Resort.
Oh, that's lovely.
It was super chill. It was very last minute. I just went to Adventureland Day.
That's right. I saw that on your socials. Yes, that looks so fun.
That was so much fun. It was so much fun. And so I went ahead and went up there, and Dad had a doctor's appointment the next day over on that side of town. And he was like, I really don't want to have to drive because where Mom and Dad live is almost 2 hours away, an hour and 30 minutes away from Disney World now. And he's like, well, maybe we should just see if there's a annual pass holder Florida resident rate available right now for one of the value resorts. And maybe we can just stay one night. And so I was like, twist my arm, Daddy. Okay. So that's what we ended up doing.
That's so smart. Oh my gosh. Yes. And those rates can be pretty good over there. Pop Century is a good hotel. I mean, at least it's got the Skyliner, right?
Right. It has a Skyliner. It was semi-recently updated, and I will say there's a huge difference because I stayed at one of the All-Stars that has been updated here recently. The All-Star bed and fabric versus the Pop Century bed and fabric, there's such a huge difference. Pop Century is really nice. It's actually pretty decent. I was telling Chris before we recorded that my allergies have been ridiculous, and I slept actually better on the Pop Century pull-out wall bed than I did on my own bed last night. And I'm like, this is crazy. So crazy. We had a great time.
Awesome. That's good to hear. I actually have yet to stay at Pop Century. I definitely have stayed at All Star Music. That was for the Dopey Challenge in 2022.
Yes.
Had a great time. We had a blast. It was definitely right on the end of COVID, I think. Yes. And so I think they just had updated All Star Music rooms around that time or right before we got there. So they were updated. They were nice.
They started getting updated right before shutdown. And then, so the only resort that still hasn't fully updated, I think there's still 2 buildings that haven't been updated yet, are over at All-Star Sports.
Okay.
So
but
that
was
the last
actually
one.
Yeah, got it. And that resort or that hotel was closed when we went in 2022. So they opened later. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's so good to hear. What a nice little staycation. I'm thinking of doing that at some point over here at Pixar Place, which is a newly renovated Paradise Pier hotel over, it's our third hotel essentially on Disneyland Drive. And I've been wanting to stay there. So I might just do that myself pretty soon. We'll see.
I love that. But I feel like the crowd levels are too crazy right now. We'll save that for a little bit closer to Disney News because I know you made a video about it just the other night. And actually an article just came out also about it. So I think we should pin that for later.
Let's do it.
Just to remind y'all, if this is your first time following or listening to us, hello, welcome to the show. Make sure you're following us over on the socials, not only just our personal socials, but also the show's socials. And that's going to be Disney Countdown Show on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or Pod Disney on the Twitter / the X. And also we have full YouTube videos also up now of our faces. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. And then also again, our personals, the Dapper Danielle, the magical millennial _ for Miss Megan. And Megan, we have one new review, I think, and we have a couple fan messages that we've been getting here recently. And I feel like we need to cover some of those.
Let's do that. Let's do it. Yes. And of course, reminding you guys that if you would like to leave us a review, please do so. We love hearing either your thoughts and opinions on the episodes. If you have suggestions on the countdowns that we should do, it's just a cool way for you guys to either get a shout out on the show or to help people, get to notice the show a little bit more as well. So you can review on Apple Podcasts, and you can rate us on Spotify. You can also, of course, DM us your reviews on the socials. We do have an email as well at DisneyCountdownShow@gmail.com. But let's get into this first review. This one is so sweet because it was sent on Valentine's Day from Greet 2012. And it says, fellow fans will love these lists. And it says, I'm loving this podcast. I've been listening for a few months now, and I have to say it's becoming one of my favorites. It's lighthearted and genuine. Danielle and Megan are passionate and driven content creators who bring different POVs to these topics. POVs is point of views, by the way. It's definitely a nice form of escapism for someone stuck in the middle of the US, far away from all the parks. I was lucky enough to meet you both in Marceline. Oh my gosh, Walt Disney's hometown. And that was last year, and look forward to bumping into you both at the park someday. Please keep the list coming. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much to Greek 2012.
I read this one the night before, and I'm trying to think back on, because we ran into a lot of people. Did we run into this person while both of us were together at one point?
It probably was. It's either the day of the fair. Actually, I think it was that day, right? When we were both together. Mm-hmm.
I kind of have an idea of who this was. I think we actually met in the middle of the street. Mm-hmm. Is that what I'm thinking it was?
Was it someone a part of the twin sauce dance, or at a separate time? Okay.
I'm not sure. So agree, 2012, you're going to have to remind us of who you are, where we met you at, which is unfortunate because I can't remember names, but I can remember location and your whole life story. I just can't remember names or faces.
Which is honestly pretty good, Danielle. So yes, if you are listening to this and you're like, oh, that was me, please leave us a DM or send us a DM, and we'd love to get in touch.
It's bugging me.
And help satisfy Danielle's need to know here.
It's true. Because we met so many cool people while we were in Marceline, and I just saw Twin Sauce again, and I ran into the whole Citizen family. They were one of the big people that drove that event, and I ran into them, and that was so cool getting to see them again here this past week at Magic Kingdom. And they're like, can you believe it's already been 1 year since we did that? And I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Pretty much. Yeah,
that was crazy. Good times. Good times. But
great times.
We do have some other fan messages coming our way also. Now, these were the ones sent to us either on the Instagram or through our email. And this next one is from Lucy on Instagram. And it says, just really recently discovered your podcast and I'm enjoying it so much. I've followed both of you for a while and enjoy seeing all my favorite creators connect with one another. I am up to September's episode currently, and I've been really enjoying your guests so far. Having Blake as your first guest was just perfect. Just wondering when you are going to strong arm Cole into being on the podcast. Love seeing the mini vlogs and various other TikTok that have the four of you made. That we've made together, like Megan, Blake, when you were in Walt Disney World. Oh, thank you so much, Lucy.
Thank you.
Yes.
And yes, we're definitely going to have Cole on at some point because we, of course, would have a lot to talk about with Cole. He is a Walt Disney World content creator, annual pass holder, all that good stuff, and one of our very good friends. So it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
We just did some really fun ones. I just did some fun ones with Cole here recently.
And I saw your recent ones.
I'm pretty proud of myself. I don't do the various audios like he does, but that's how his mind works is that he can hear an audio and he can picture a setting for it. I can't do that. So it's so cool. So yeah, maybe we'll work on making sure Cole gets in here eventually so he can rep the lounge flies and spirit jerseys for us. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Danielle, you also, I want to say, you do the lip sync very well for that. Something that's not really in your wheelhouse, I guess, on TikTok. You do it very well. So I want to compliment you there.
Thank you. I can do it. I just can't, I'm not creative enough to think of where to place the audio.
Yes, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Cole's the best at that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. All right. We do have another fan mail. This is from Kevin on Instagram. And he says, "Hi, just want to say that I am so glad I found this podcast, even though I was not a podcast person before. I listen to the podcast mainly when I'm at work because, not going to lie, work does put me through mental stress. Mood. Literally same. I followed Megan for a while, but thanks to Bibbidi Boppity Beard, another Cole shout out. I started following Danielle, and I love the energy between you two. Hoping for Jiminy Cicada merch because when I have a rough time at work, I play the Jiminy Cicada clip and I sit at my desk holding in laughter for 15 minutes. Keep up the magical work." Kevin, we're going to get this Jiminy Cicada merch designed and out because we got to give people what they want. I think this needs to happen
and
soon.
this is something that's been asked for even on the Discord page for the Patreon too. So I guess that's what I got to design next. I'll start working on that.
I think Danielle is the artist mastermind behind kind of everything that we put out. So thank you to Danielle. And the Jiminy Cicadas, it's in our Discord that we have with our Patreon and our subscribers and everything. And it's kind of being formed, I guess. Ideas are being thrown out there. So we'll have that merch hopefully very soon for you guys. But thank you so much to Kevin. And I'm so glad you're listening. Even though you weren't a podcast person, I was in the exact same boat. And that's always a wonderful compliment to hear that even non-podcast people enjoy listening to us. So thank you.
All right. Well, this next one is also from Jessica on Instagram. Megan and Danielle, heart sparkle emoji. I can't explain how much I love your podcast. I recently became a paid Spotify subscriber. Hey, Spotify fam.
Welcome. Yeah.
I live in Canada and visit Disneyland every November for my birthday. So I guess that makes me a Disneyland girly.
Absolutely.
I guess so. I mean, we just over here at Walt Disney World too, but that's fine. And your podcast keeps me excited through the year until I can finally get there, and it always puts me in the best mood. Another heart sparkle emoji. I love hearing all the tips and tricks and fun historical facts Danielle has. The Disney news segment is my favorite. I may be heading to Disney World, for my first time this June while we visit Florida. So I'm hoping to run into Danielle, and hopefully I'll get to run into Megan in this November. Thank you, ladies, for this amazing podcast. It truly means so much. Thank you.
That's awesome, Jessica. So excited for your Disney World trip.
I'm just nervous. She's a Canadian. You do know that you melt in the month of June here in Florida, right? Like,
it's gonna be a bit warm.
It's gonna be very warm. I mean, just stay hydrated. Just stay hydrated. Eat something cold. I do worry about our Canadian friends when they come down during this time because I'm like, are you going to be okay?
I know. How are you feeling? It's like Olaf in summer. You're
right?
gonna melt?
Right. That's a good comparison. I love that.
Yeah. It's definitely, remember to either bring the squirt water bottle with the fan thing that they used to sell at the parks. I don't know if do they still sell that, Danielle? I haven't even seen it in a while.
We still sell it here in Disney World.
Thank goodness, because I don't know about California. Okay, good. Those really help. Then yes, drink your water, bring your liquid IV, bring your Pedialyte, whatever you need, because you gotta stay healthy and hydrated.
It's true.
But awesome. All right. Thank you, Jessica. We have one more here. And this is actually a question from Amber, aka Magic Rays a Sun. Love that name. And she says, I actually have a question. From your last podcast, you both were talking about the Disney/Walt Disney World apps. So Disneyland/Walt Disney World apps. I saw a post about Magic Mobile from another creator and asked them if it works on Disneyland as well. They said yes, but I'm not seeing a way to at all. Is this just like with the Apple Watch where Land has not caught up to basically World and every other park? She's channeling the saucy, sassy side-eye vibes. I love it. Maybe you've already done content about this with the podcast. It reminded me to ask. Perhaps I will hear your answer in another podcast. Thank you. Okay, great question.
I need to know this. Yes.
Okay. So, as far as I know, Land, y'all, we are so behind with the technology, which is hilarious to me because we are in California, the home of Silicon Valley, which is like we should have all the updated technology, right? No, we still have, and I love them to death, the cast member security guards who check your bags physically, and you have to walk through, which is essentially like an old airport machine to make sure that you don't have anything bad on your person, right? And we do have the dogs that walk by as well as you're walking into security that sniff for it's not I'll get past that. They're sniffing for explosives, but there's something, that's what they're doing. So we have physical people still checking our stuff. We have physical cast members. Again, love them so much. Scanning our tickets to get into the park. We do not have that cute little Mickey Mouse to scan your Magic Band yet. They are going to change that at the gate pretty soon. It's going to be like automatic doors that open up. But as far as I know, I don't think anything like that works at Land.
So
Magic Mobile
is when you take your theme park ticket and you can have it added to like your Apple Pay.
Yes. We don't have that. No.
Really?
Yeah. No, we can't
know this.
Nothing, at least as far as I know, nothing from our side can be added to Apple. Like, you can obviously use your Apple Card or Apple Pay for any sort of payment.
I have my ticket right there, and so I just double click and I tap to pay. That's why I don't have a Magic Band. I do everything through my phone. I just go click, and it's a little figment right now because the orange bird picture doesn't have eyebrows, and I refuse to have that on there.
Which is so
nice.
Cute, and I love that, and I think that we should have that. But no, our ticket is not used for payment in any sort of way. It's all done just with like your whatever's connected to your Apple Pay.
Well, we don't use ours for payment. It's just for entering.
Oh, for entering.
So you can use it for entering, and also you can use that as a way to, there's a QR version that you can switch over to, and they can scan it at the gates to make sure that you're an active annual pass holder to be able to get in.
Yeah, I don't think we have that. I think I actually actively looked for it the week I got back from Walt Disney World to check, and I couldn't find it. We don't have the same feature on as the My Disney Experience.
That explains a lot, actually, because I made a video complaining about the orange bird picture and me not knowing it existed, and then him not having eyebrows. And there were some people saying like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Does this work in Land?" And I didn't answer those questions because I didn't know. But that explains it.
That right, exactly. I think I mean, let me see. Yeah, I mean, Danielle, if you want to pull up your phone, I can show you where we're missing this stuff. If compared to My Disney Experience. And y'all, and when I say My Disney Experience, that is the Walt Disney World app. The Disneyland app is the one we have over here.
You really don't call it My Disney Experience?
No.
Oh.
It is the Disneyland app.
It functions very similar, but we call it different things. You know why?
It looks like the home screen is like essentially the same, except we have Land up at the top here. And Magic Key, of course, because we don't call ours annual passes anymore. Right. But yeah, as far as I know, because I did pull that up, like the QR code when I was over there, and I was like, oh, that's neat. I don't think we have that. Yeah. So when sure enough, I checked
the hamburger menu off to the side. It will list off all these things like tickets and passes, future plans, and then should say Disney Mobile Magic right there off to the side. And you don't have that option?
No, that's not on our menu.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, Amber, if you're listening right now, I don't know who you spoke to or who responded to you, but they are mistaken over here at Land. They might have gotten the apps confused, but no, we do not have Magic Mobile yet. Maybe it's coming at some point. But again, Land, we are behind the times with the technology.
From my small time working in the point of sale system support team for Walt Disney World and having to be on phone calls with the Disneyland tech team, you know, Disneyland and their technology, they just want to be so different. And I don't know why. I don't know why.
I don't know if it's like a desire to stay true to, like, you know, what it was 50 plus years ago, you know, back in the day. Like, do we really need all that new technology? We're the OG park. Let's keep it back to 1955. No, it's, I really don't, I don't know. And I definitely don't know with security. And let me tell y'all, the patience that I have to remind myself to have when the security lines get long is out of this world. I'm just like, we should not have
with Orange County in California and like their security laws.
It's it's very possible that is a California law, an Anaheim law, whatever it is. Orange County, maybe Orange County because the counties are different. So could be. They are as I've heard recently, they're changing the front gates. So they are going to have cast members there to help, but there's going to be a system now where it's kind of like those small automatic doors that will open after you scan your ticket. So the turnstiles are going away at some point soon. Oh. So y'all know that is happening. Yeah.
That will be interesting. We'll see how
It'll be
that
very
goes.
interesting. That's the first change they have ever made, I think, to front gates.
All right.
Well, at least, of course, with the design. California Adventure got a major update, as we know, 10 years ago. So,
again, we'll believe it when we see it.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Oh, and then I think, Danielle, we do have one more comment about our Scrooge McDuck reel that we made with Lily Davis from Dear and Darling.
Oh my goodness,
we have a comment.
Down. Oh, here. Yes, it is.
From Magnus. Yeah.
Magnus Warness. Right? Warness?
Yep. Uh-huh.
So it's crazy how different characters are on different levels in different countries. Like in Scandinavian countries, Scrooge is huge. Okay.
Scrooge
much
is
bigger
huge.
than that of Mickey and Minnie Mouse. And the average
Interesting.
Norwegian would probably be able to answer trivia questions about Scrooge as well as the rest of the Duckburg gang. The bookstores will literally have their own Uncle Scrooge sections just about the history of this character. Just for Scrooge. Should we start a movement, a hashtag? You know what?
I'm behind that. Yeah,
that makes sense.
It does make sense. Is he Scandinavian? Is Scrooge?
No. So Scrooge is Scottish.
Excuse me, Scottish.
He's Scottish, okay. But in the Scandinavian countries, so like in Norway, all these other places, in the early 50s, late 60s, a whole series of Donald Duck comics were released. Not Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck was really pushed over in these European countries, and he was the it guy. He was the top character, and that's why you associate so much with these characters more so than Americans here at Walt Disney World, which is so interesting.
That is really interesting. So it's become like a little more part of the culture over there, more than Mickey and Minnie.
Yes.
Wow.
There was a ton of even like educational books in the early 60s that released, and they were all catering with Donald Duck, not with Mickey Mouse. So it was just the publications at the time, and that became their character that they loved growing up, and it still sticks around today.
So they love the ducks over there. I love that. I love that Donald and the Duckburg gang get so much love in that part of the world, because I do feel like he is not everyone's favorite character over here. And yeah, I do think that Scrooge is kind of just overlooked a little bit more. Again, when we drew him for Christmas and I found out that he was #1 on Forbes, again, I think that's the publication, Forbes richest fictional characters, I jaw dropped. I was like, no way. So I think that's so cool. And I think that's awesome that they get so much love over in the Scandinavian part of the world.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Hello to our friends that listen to us over there, our Norwegian, Scandinavian friends, all of you over there on that side of the pond. It's good to see y'all and hear y'all representing over there too. So yes, good comment though. That was good.
Absolutely. And if y'all want to like help us out, I am happy to start a movement or hashtag or just start talking about Sir Scrooge a little bit more, because we don't talk about him enough over here for sure. It's only around Christmas time because he's part of the Christmas Carol,
right?
So
or for Disneyland especially, like we at least have the what is it, the DuckTales adventure around like Epcot. It's the mobile game is all featuring Huey, Dewey, Louie, the DuckTales gang, for adventures around from the new series. So we do have a little more representation of them here in Disney World than I think you do over in Disneyland, which is shocking.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. Yes. I think the only time they ever come out or like they talk about them is like special event nights. We really don't talk about DuckTales or have DuckTales stuff. No.
Okay, interesting. But that also makes sense because we have more friends from Norway coming and visiting us here in Walt Disney World. They're not necessarily coming all the way over to Disneyland.
Also true. Yes.
It's all coming together.
It's all connected.
Yes.
We're getting it.
Yes. Okay. Oh, it's interesting. It's so cool to look back and see that, how it all connects together. Oh, so fun.
Yeah. Right. Well, thank you for that. That's great to know. I never would have known that if you haven't commented on the reel. So thank you, Magnus.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, guys, we also wanted to just go ahead and take this time because we do have some of our wonderful Patreons actually listening to us right now as we're recording. So hello, everybody. And we have a new Patreon that just joined us this week. Cassie, welcome to the Magical Patreon fam. We are so happy to have you. And guys, we do have quite a lot of fun with both our Patreons and our subscribers. If you would like to join our Magical fam, you can click the link in our episode notes or go to patreon.com and search Disney Countdown. We have our virtual hang that we do monthly that's coming up in a couple of weeks. And it's just so much fun to get to know you guys, to chat about Disney. You guys can ask us questions kind of in real time. And we've had a blast. So if you want to join that, go ahead and check us out on Patreon. We also do have a couple new tiers to the Patreon that we added, so you get some extra stuff depending on what level fits your fancy. We have our February giveaway was actually a $25 Disney gift card, so we're doing giveaways as well now. And for our DC 33 members, those are fun giveaways, and of course they're there. If you're part of the Patreon at that tier, you're a part of it and you're entered. So
they're also
kind of
fun.
Fun.
Able to tune in and listen to us as we're recording this episode live right
and
now.
And that's our yeah, of course, that's our live audience right now. Hello.
Yes, DC 33 fam. Woo.
Woohoo. Whoop, whoop.
But okay. So again, thank you all for being here from our Patreon family. But for the rest of y'all and Miss Megan, what we were going to talk about before we get into Disney news, there was some other catching up that I felt like we needed to do. I can't remember what we were going to talk about.
We were going to get into
by Scrooge McDuck and the mobile magic stuff. Now I'm just like,
Scrooge is so distracting. I think, were we going to talk about crowd levels?
Yes.
Currently?
Yes. We're going to talk about that. That kind of ties into Disney news, but I feel like that's not really hardcore. I mean, it is kind of factual, but it's not like anything breaking news. We just talked about it in our last couple episodes, and it's like ringing true right now.
Right. It's become pretty relevant. Yes. Especially with some videos that we've seen pop up on our For You pages on TikTok. So yes, I mean, if it's okay with you, Danielle, I can just start with what's going on over on the West Coast.
Well, yeah, because you just made a TikTok video explaining this and talking about this. So I feel like, talk about what you've seen, and I'll play off of that of what's happening over here at Disney World.
Yeah, definitely. So there was a TikTok that popped up yesterday that showed a large line getting into Disneyland. Now, this is not unusual. The title of it said Monday mornings at Disneyland or something like that. Now, y'all, we talked about it in the podcast before in previous episodes. Mondays are travel days. But therefore, usually people will spend their mornings going to the parks, at least like maybe before they leave, or, it's for some reason, Monday mornings are not a good time to go. Mondays in general are very crowded, especially over here at Disneyland. I have found over the last couple of years that it's just, you would think that, everyone's going back to work, everyone's going back to school. Monday is a great time. No, it is not. It is actually very, very crowded, especially in the mornings. And going off of that, the times that people used to say were good to go to Disneyland, like good to go, like Wednesdays are great, middle of the week, Thursdays sometimes too, it's kind of become like not true. Basically, it's become obsolete. Like there seems to be crowds every time you go to Disneyland now, even when it's raining. I went on a rainy day a couple weeks ago and the lines were still pretty long for things. Now this is due to a variety of factors, right? So obviously going to the parks has become just a lot more popular thing. People want to go to Disney. There's a lot more surrounding the parks, especially that you see on social media, that entices people to go to the parks. Okay. Number two,
we're doing our jobs. It's working and we're not getting paid for it, but it's fine.
Exactly. We're doing our jobs for free. The second thing, and we have talked about this again previously, is that a lot of the attractions, especially at Disneyland, the big ones, I mean, y'all know that Tiana's Bayou Adventure, there has still yet to announce an opening date for that. And it's been down since middle of last year for us. So the left side of the park is basically completely under construction. We have Tiana's Bayou Adventure is all walled up. And then we have Haunted Mansion, which is also completely walled up to Tiana's restaurant. Crazy. Or Tiana's Palace. So a lot of those crowds that would be over in that area, and let me tell you, it's a big area where many people would go. They're now being spread out to other areas around the park. We also have Astro Orbiter that's been down for a long time. Some of the rides over in California Adventure were down, they are back up. But Disneyland right now seems very crowded because everyone's just being moved over like from that area, right? And also that there's not a lot of places to go in the parks. There's not a lot of entertainment right now. The parades are the only thing that we basically have, and the fireworks. No, there's barely any shows in Disneyland, as far as I know. Like it's only on Main Street, maybe with like the Dapper Dans and sometimes the bands over there. Yeah, that's basically it. Our Fantasyland theater is now is like empty. We used to have Tale of the Lion King. That's not there anymore. So there's not a lot of places for people to go besides the rides. And that's why you see
location. I feel like
I know
for another stage show. I don't know what you bring back. Maybe like, hey, bring back Mickey and the Magical Map, man. But
that's what everybody's wanting. That was such a cute show. Everybody's wanting Mickey's Magical Map back. Yeah, absolutely. Or just, I don't know. We need something to be in there. It's such a large theater, similar to the Hyperion. We're like, why is this sitting empty? Help us out here.
Oh, that's right.
It would help with the crowd.
Also closed.
Yes, both of our major theaters in both parks are empty. Nothing's there.
Okay. So I ranted about this in the last episode about Disney World missing its entertainment. Okay, boys, Jeff and Josh. Come here. Come hither closer. Listen.
Come hither.
What is wrong with you? I understand that you're trying to get the bigger payout by not spending money on certain things, but entertainment and cutting entertainment is not the way to go. Sorry, Chris, as I'm clapping into the microphone. But
like and people are like, weren't reservations supposed to take care of the crowd levels? Y'all, it's a different time. It's not COVID anymore. I'm pretty sure it's open season for all of these tickets that they're putting on sale, like for the SoCal residents. Every single date is open. You will never find a date that is closed. Right. I have looked, my mom and my sister both bought the SoCal tickets, and I've looked constantly at what date might be blocked. None of them are blocked. They can go whenever they want. So these ticket holders can go whenever. Magic Key holders, different story. Although if you check the night before, I guarantee you will find a reservation open. Like guaranteed. 9:30 past 9:30 p.m. You're no problem getting a reservation for the next day.
Pre-planners so anxious when it comes to that kind of stuff. So like,
definitely. If you have a Magic Key, for sure. Yes. Which, by the way, this is the morning of. Magic Key's just opened, so hope y'all got your Magic Key that you wanted.
Is it closed already?
I mean, it's open. I don't know if they're sold out yet. I have to go and check, but they're still open as of right now.
Maybe. I didn't even know it was happening until your post last night, Megan. So maybe nobody else knows
because they announced it the day before, like, surprise, they're going back on sale.
It's like, we need to just sell a couple more of them. We'll just open it up randomly for you. Oh gosh.
And that was the other thing too. It's like, oh my gosh, like they're opening it and these are the crowds right now. Like, whew, okay.
Right. But
so and y'all this month
you got to bring entertainment back for the annual pass holders and the regulars, like me and you, Megan, where we'll just walk in to enjoy whatever's available currently at the parks, and we don't necessarily have to go on any of the big ticket rides. We would love to sit down and just go watch a show. That's what we did yesterday at Hollywood Studios with me and the fam. We went to Indiana Jones. We went to some of the other, just only the shows. We didn't go on any rides except for maybe one. And that was just Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That was it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of shows that could potentially just take a lot of people, but y'all, great moments with Mr. Lincoln can only do so much. Same with the Enchanted Tiki Room. There's only so much they can do. So, and like, there's going to be Pixar Fest coming up soon. I'm trying to think like what else. I don't think there's anything else planned besides Wondrous Journeys in the next couple weeks here. So yeah, something's got to change a little bit. I was actually ranting about this to my fiance, who's not even a Disney person, yesterday, and
he's just like, "Sure, babe. Yeah, babe. You're right, babe."
I'm like, you're right. I'm like, thank you. I just need some validation here. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer with the crowds. Not gonna lie, we are very lucky to be locals where we don't have to go and do the rides as much because we're there for the vibes and creating content. But I want people to go and have a good time. And as of right now, y'all, it is March. We got spring break coming up in a few weeks, and I am scared. I am scared for people.
Spring break started for us. Well, for Florida, they start this week. Pennsylvania is already on spring break. Who else was here? Texas, I think, has started spring break. So Walt Disney World, we've already seen our influx of people. We just had all the senior trips were here this past week also.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy right now. Crazy.
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting time. Everybody, please be patient and just know that there are reasons for these crowd levels. It's not your fault. We're not going to place blame, but
Everybody just has the same idea as you do right now.
that's right. That's right.
I think
Yes.
one of our blogger friends was looking at the numbers and was actually equating this to what was it in 2022, after like everything kind of started reopening, it was called revenge travel, right? And then 2023, there was actually, if you look at the crowd maps, this month in like August, September, and June were actually pretty low on crowd levels, and then. But if you compare it to what's happening already in the trend for 2024, everything's out the window. So they're calling it the revenge of travel from 2022 happening.
Yep. And I completely get that and agree. That is essentially what is happening. And we were talking about how all the like the crowd calendars that we used to have, or that some companies had created before COVID, completely like you can't even pay attention to them anymore. They're just not correct.
All their sources, all their statistics are so all over the place is that you can't even guess it anymore right now. There's no current.
It's like we're starting from scratch. Yes. Yeah. Well,
goodness.
I have patience, y'all, and I'm so sorry for the crowds that you may see if you're coming to the parks in the next couple weeks, because I am nervous myself as a local.
Stay hydrated. Remember to mobile order food on your My Disney experience or your Disneyland app, and just have patience with everybody. That's really the way to go.
Yep.
But we do have a little bit of Disney news to cover.
We interrupt our program to bring you this
Disney news.
So, over at the Grand Floridian Resort, I did get to see this. We do have the Easter egg display is now available, and they're calling it they're calling it the cottage, like the Easter cottage. So they have a little display all set up. The bakery team has created a ton of sweet treats to be able to sell in the lobby there, and they're surrounded by all these over-the-top egg designs. Some are recycled from the year before also, because some are like so elaborate. But, oh my gosh, the culinary and bakery teams went over the top for these displays this year. There was an oversized egg. Oh my gosh, how many feet was it off the ground? I would say maybe almost 3-4 feet off the ground was a James and the Giant Peach inspired egg.
That's cool.
Do you remember James and the Giant Peach?
Of course I do. Yes.
Throwback.
Watched that many a time when I was a kid.
Seeing that as a child. But
it is pretty, it was pretty traumatizing. Yes.
So with all these designs, they have to use an egg mold as like a base, and then they can build up off the top of it. So it's an upside down egg mold that they also added a little addition to make it look like the shape of a peach. And it's huge. And then they added these characters and all these other little details to it. And I was like, whoa, that's a throwback. There was also a beautiful inner working one for Alice in Wonderland, one representing the Chinese theater for Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway here in Hollywood Studios.
Wow.
A throwback one to Electric Light Parade. That was funny. I love that one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some really, really creative ones. Now, the thing is, though, is if you want to see this egg display, you are going to have to go park over at the Transportation and Ticket Center and take the monorail over to the Grand Floridian, because they are not letting anybody into the main parking of the Grand Floridian, even when you go to mobile order. Right. So I was on the monorail. I was going to just go ahead and mobile order for Gasparilla, which is the quick service. And it was giving me an error message saying, oh, you can't order unless you are staying on property. Like, at that resort. Geez. And I was like,
wow.
Okay. Ended up having to go in and order in person, but it's because they're trying to deter people from using that as an excuse to be able to park there.
That makes sense.
Right.
I get that. To help with like the crowds and stuff. I understand.
And so I'm not exactly 100% sure. I mean, I have to double check of how long this display is going to be up for. It's usually only up until the week after Easter. So this is one of the shortest display periods there is.
Yeah, that's about a month. Yeah.
just about a month for that display. So if you have the opportunity to go check it out, I definitely suggest it. It is very, very cool. If you're just resort hopping over there and want to go stop and say hello, get a little sweet treat. And they have so many funny little things like cake pops that look like little bunny butts, I think. Maybe they brought that back for those last years.
We have those too. They're so cute.
They're also cute. They're so cute.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Oh, the Grand Floridian is so beautiful, and they always do such a great job with their gingerbread houses. I haven't seen the Easter eggs in person myself, but that is a pretty cool thing.
Oh, because they're only up for such a small amount of time too.
Yeah, I'd just miss it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, awesome. Okay. Well, speaking of, I guess more on the food side, we did have our food and wine festival start over here at California Adventure. I was fortunate to be there on, first of all, the soft opening day, as well as the official opening day, which was Friday.
Nice.
And it's pretty good this year. There's some front runners in terms of the food. I personally really like the cheese pizza flavored wings. We have the cheeseburger bao.
Cheese pizza flavored wings. How do you make that happen?
Yes. So there's the they give you 4 chicken wings, and the breading on the outside is seasoned with, I don't know how they do it, but it tastes like cheese pizza.
Maybe it's kind of like those cheese pizza Pringles. Maybe they just scrambled up some Pringles and threw them on there.
Something where they use that kind of a seasoning. I do think it tastes more authentic and a little bit more like the pizza. The cheese pizza Pringles are, a little bit artificial, but it comes with a side of ranch. It's like homemade ranch too. It's not like the, whatever, Hidden Valley, whatever they would use, or Ken's Ranch is what they use at the parks. It's not that. It's a great ranch, and it's very good over at one of my favorite booths because I love the name Cluckadoodle Moo. And then we have the cheeseburger bao, which is at the beer booth. That's California Craft Brews. I personally loved it. Thought it tasted a little bit like In-N-Out Burger, especially because they got Thousand Island and pickles on the outside, which I'm a big fan of. And then there is a carnitas style pork belly that I also really enjoyed with a mac salad on the side. It's just some good stuff, y'all. It's good stuff. There's a matcha drink. There's also plenty of the alcoholic drinks. Now, unfortunately, your girl is still doing non-alcoholic for health and fitness reasons. I have one more week until I am back to normal for a little bit, and then I'm going to... So close. I'm so close. And then for the wedding, I'm going to, do this whole thing again. But I will be back, and I will be trying many of the drinks. I did take one sip of the Mangonada beer slush, and let me tell you, that is the first drink I will be getting for myself when I can return to the beveraginos that the Magical Millennial loves so much. It's like it's a Mangonada, but it has a hint of beer, like lager at the end. It is so good, just because I feel like it would cater toward cocktail lovers and beer lovers alike. And it's Brewery X beer, which we love Brewery X over here in Anaheim. And it is so good. So that is my front runner for the drinks. That one's at California Craft Brews. And Brewery X and Disney have had a relationship now for a few years. So their beer is sold in the parks. And of course, Food and Wine, they get to explore some new flavors. So,
which is cool that they're also supporting like a local brand also.
Disneyland is actually very good at that. They worked with Villains Brewing. They've worked with Pizza Port over in Anaheim. There's some really good local breweries that they really enjoy working with. So I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, they do love going local for Food and Wine.
Oh, that's so fabulous.
Yeah. So, and of course, Soarin' Over California is back, everybody, from March 1st to April 22nd, which is the length of the festival. You can go on Soarin'. It will be our 2001 California version, which was just at Disney World over in Epcot recently. And you can smell all the lovely smells of the pine and the orange. Nothing is going to beat the pine and the orange smells for me. But it's a lovely little throwback to our horrible transitions, but our prime smells for that ride. I
actually didn't mind the transitions because I went and rewatched it when it was here at Epcot. And actually, let me check. Is it still here at Epcot?
Is it still there? Well, should we check my Disney experience?
You know what? You're a genius. That's why we have technology. Let's use it.
We can check right here.
Okay, so I just pulled it up on the My Disney Experience app. It is Soarin' Around the World. So we are back to our normal. California's over. Well, we officially ended our celebration of the 100th anniversary We still have some stuff, but
You know,
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
what a quandary this was with the 100th anniversary.
Girl. Like, actually, I'm double checking right now.
Okay.
No,
Because
so...
we had an official end to ours, right? I think ours was a little more clear cut. We had the start, Wondrous Journeys, World of Color 1, all introduced, boom, 100th anniversary celebration. And obviously, since the holidays begin and we have completely new shows coming in, okay, they're like, yes, sorry, the 100th is going away. This is when it will end because of the holidays. Y'all over there, it was very, very blurred in terms of...
We still don't know if it's like done or not. I think they said, yeah, it's done because they took away all the displays for the beginning of Flower and Garden Festival. Right? So we have like the medallion and the pig, like the statue.
Yes.
I mean, we still have our 50th statues up. They just put a decal over top of the 50th logo. And which is
cool.
fine, but like spray painted a different color or something. They're just gold. They're still hanging out from our anniversary.
See, and the color was platinum for the 100th anniversary.
Right.
So that's interesting. Okay.
I think we messed up because our 50th was supposed to happen in 2021 and everything was delayed and pushed back. So then it also ran into our 100th anniversary. And they're like, wait, didn't you just celebrate 50 years? How did you turn an additional 50 years older? And that was so hard to explain to guests and explain that.
See, I feel like this could have been solved by they could have shortened the 50th anniversary because it was just Magic Kingdom's 50th anniversary. Y'all, I'm sorry. Calling it Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary is like, nah, it's just Magic Kingdom. So I feel like they could have shortened it and then started the 100th around the same time. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. Well, and we only celebrated the 100th over in Epcot.
Which is that's so crazy to me because it's the Walt Disney Company.
I don't know.
Anyway.
So it's back to soaring over California, but I think Mickey and Minnie are still meeting in their 100th outfits over at Epcot. Or at least on the app, it still says they're meeting together, but it doesn't say if they're wearing their outfits or not. But they're still meeting together technically.
Cute. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, speaking of both parks, by the way, and things going on, just today, y'all, this was about a week ago because this is being aired on Monday. Star Tours. We finally have the announcement on our Star Tours add-on scenes. We are getting new scenes for these Star Tours adventures continue, both at Hollywood Studios and at Disneyland. This is so exciting. It is going to be inspired by the shows on Disney Plus. So Ahsoka, Andor, and The Mandalorian. Amazing, amazing shows. Andor, especially, I'm very excited to see. That was definitely an underdog show for me that really blew me out of the water. I love Mandalorian, of course, and Ahsoka. This is going to be so fun. I do think Star Tours is due for an update. And I cannot wait to see what these scenes are going to look like. It's probably still going to make me a little nauseous, but I don't mind. I will absolutely be on there April 5th, first day, going to see these new scenes.
And it's going to incorporate, I guess, a planet from Ahsoka and also a planet from Andor. And then they're going to add in, like, when it cuts and you see the holographic images of certain characters, it's going to add in Ahsoka, Mando and Grogu and oh my gosh, what's the main character's name from Andor?
Cassian Andor.
Cassian, yes. So he's I think he's also gonna be one of the projection options also.
Oh, this is so exciting. I got chills. And I love all those characters so much.
Still mix in with everything else that's going on also. So you can still get over 250 variations of your adventure. So you can still get stuff referencing from the first couple Star Wars films, from the last 3, and then everything else in between. Actually, Megan, does yours land in Batuu?
Only with one ending. Only with one planet. Yes, there is one planet that gave us the preview for Batuu before Galaxy's Edge actually opens, and I believe it is still only one scene that will end up in Batuu. I forget which one it is.
Interesting.
But yes.
Because I feel like maybe I just keep getting the same ending over and over again whenever I go. But I think we've only had the Batuu one here in Hollywood Studios. But also our Star Tours is so close to the beginning of Batuu that it makes sense that you're landing like just outside of that area. But I don't know.
No, I totally know what you're talking about. I believe it is the planet where it's at the end of Last Jedi, where you're on that kind of that stuff with the red dirt picks up, and you're like dragging the old the ships on the dirt, and then you leave that planet and go to Batu. I believe that is the one that we're referring to. But no, we still have random scenes where you can go to Coruscant, you can go to or run into Boba Fett, and you will not land in Batu. But with this one, I feel like this is what they've done in the past when they've added new scenes. I think you have almost a 100% chance, at least in the first couple months or like a year, that you will get at least one of the new scenes. That is what they've done previously. So don't worry. Like if you go on it and like you're like, oh, I hope I get one of the new scenes, you will. They make it specifically so that you will get to see at least one new thing in your ride. So don't worry about that.
That's pretty cool. I'm excited to go on to that. So it debuts on the same day, both in Disney World and Disneyland. It's going to be on April 5th, which is coming up. So exactly 1 month from the time that we're recording this episode. And I'm excited.
Very excited.
Hollywood needs a little something extra over there for the beginning of spring break season. Well, actually not the beginning, but like the middle of spring break season. And because when I passed by yesterday, it was just a 10-minute wait all day. So hopefully more people will go to that ride and we'll do something, we'll just spread out the people a little more love everywhere.
Astro Orbiter will be open by that time, but Lord help Tomorrowland when that thing opens. Oh. The right side of the park is taking a hit right now with everything on the left side being closed. So,
you're right.
Send your prayers to Disneyland.
R.I.P. Tomorrowland. You're already struggling as it is, and now you will be. Whoa, that's weird to say. That Tomorrowland is going to be the backbone of the park for a couple months.
The magical millennial might find herself actually purchasing Genie Plus, and that is that hard pill to swallow. I never buy Genie Plus.
No, me neither.
So we'll see, y'all. We'll see.
Oh gosh.
But I think that's gonna lead us to our game. Shall we get started?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm here. Let's play a game. Today we're playing the timestamp game, Pixar edition. Danielle and Megan will take turns for this one. They'll give me a number between 1 and 26, which coordinate to random Pixar movies. I'll then give them the runtime of that movie, and then they'll pick a random point in it. I'll play 5 seconds starting from the point they picked, and they'll have to guess what the movie is. If they don't get it, I'll give the other player a chance to pick a point to hear if they can guess it. We'll go back and forth until we get these correctly. We'll do maybe 2 each just to keep it running today.
Sounds good.
So we'll start
this is going to be hard.
Yeah, I just realized between you, me, and everyone listening here, I did not do an important part of the prep for this game, but it's fine. It's been
You're making me nervous, Chris.
Parenting is rough. Just wait as long as you can. That's all I can say. Anyway, here we go. So,
it's a major part of making the game work, but it's not that important. It's fine.
Megan, go ahead and pick a number between 1 and 26.
23, please.
23. Okay.
That's my number.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is that like your
October
lucky
23rd?
number?
My birthday is October 23rd. My brother's birthday is February 23rd. My parents' anniversary, aunt's birthday, grandma's birthday is May 23rd, all that day.
Wow.
23 is our family number. Fun facts.
Oh, that's so
Megan.
fun. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very helpful for wasting time whilst I bring up the movie. This movie is 156 minutes long, so please click a time.
That's a long Pixar movie.
Yes.
Let's go at minute 46.
46. I think this is going to be pretty easy.
Okay.
Looking at what 46 is.
Cool.
Maybe not.
Hello? We have a new assignment for you.
What do you think?
That was Mirage. So is it The Incredibles?
Yes. It was The Incredibles.
That's a good one.
That was a good one.
That was, yeah.
I was getting nervous with just hearing the dramatic phone ringing.
I
was just like,
know, and
what
background
movie
noise.
is that dark?
I was like, please, someone say something.
The problem with this game is that I get so into the movie almost immediately that I'm pretty sure I played it more than 5 seconds. I was just like, oh, Leah's watched The Incredibles.
That's fine.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, so let's mark off 23.
Okay.
And Danielle, it's your turn. Pick a number between 1 and 26.
Let's do number 12.
Number 12. Ooh, that's a good one.
They make me nervous when you say that.
And this one is an hour and 36 minutes long.
Another overture.
Let's do the 32-minute mark.
This game is brought to you by Disney Plus, so feel free to, and it's specifically the Disney Plus app on my phone. So please feel free to
Hashtag not
Disney
sponsored.
Plus.
not sponsored. Here we go.
Whatever.
Okay, I'll climb up.
Watch it.
Sorry.
Is it up?
It is up.
Yay! That was a good point to stop at. That was good.
That was funny to like hear their struggling sound effects, because out of context you can just hear and imagine the voice actors as they're like trying to make it sound like you're struggling,
come to
climbing
life
up over this thing. So
Voice
funny.
acting is hard. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
tough job. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the clips of Hugh Jackman doing Wolverine in the studio, where he has to like run and scream and just like grunt and stuff? It's so funny.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch
I
that.
I love watching behind the scenes, like of them in the studio trying to make these noises. It's great. Bradley Cooper has one for Rocket. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so Megan, 1 through 26. What do you think?
Let's go with number 15.
Number 15. Ooh, very good one. That one is an hour and 43 minutes.
God, another long one. These Pixar movies are long. Let's go with minutes 58.
Okay, here we go.
Where are we?
The big leagues.
Holy moly.
And I gotta stop it now because we have to go back. So let's have Danielle. You get to come back because she couldn't give me the title, so give me another timestamp and then we'll see what we can do. We'll play another clip.
Wait, I was gonna guess. Okay, can I?
Oh, you want to guess? Do you want to guess? Absolutely. If you want to guess.
Can I? Okay, Cars 2.
Cars 2 is incorrect.
Okay, great.
Unfortunately, so sorry.
The big.
I have a
You
guess
can
of
pick
what
any
it
other
could be.
timestamp. You don't have to pick from that one.
Okay, I'll pick one more timestamp. Let's do hour 10-minute.
I think I know what it is.
It's so funny because like watching the clip, it's obviously very obvious what it is, but
Right.
just the audio, it's very difficult, I imagine. Here we go.
Okay, that has to be the first Toy Story movie.
Wow, that is very interesting. That is also incorrect.
What?
All right. Let's. Okay, do we get one more? Can I do one more?
Sure, you can give another one.
Okay, I'm gonna try super early. Let's try minute 8.
Minute 8. Oops, I went back. I went to The Simpsons somehow.
This is
I went
gonna be
so far
another
back.
one of those where they're gonna it's gonna start playing, or Chris is gonna give us the answer, and we're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, how did we miss this?" Right? But
Right.
okay, I totally sounded like Sid's the arcade scene.
Or Woody and like the Western riding Bullseye or something like that. I don't
Or
know.
I thought at
Yeah.
first the audio from yours, I thought was like Cars 3.
So I thought it was Cars 2 because they moved to Europe or something. They go to Europe.
Right.
This one's
Maybe
hard.
the next timestamp will help
Okay.
us.
There we go. Sorry about that. The Simpsons started playing, and that's not what we're trying to do here. It's a different podcast.
Are they technically owned by Disney now though? They are, huh?
Yeah, Fox.
Yep.
let it play until we can figure it out.
Hello, how you doing?
Oh. Is it Monsters University?
It is.
It is
Yeah,
Monsters University.
Nice, Danielle.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, so what scene was it at when I was listening to it and it sounded like the arcade?
What time? What was the timestamp on that again? I'll take
It was
another
like
look.
an hour, 10
An
seconds.
hour 10. Yeah.
Hour and 10. They were. It was a football game or some sort of game, sports game.
Okay.
And they were also scaring people. And, yeah.
Okay, it was during the competition of the game,
Yes.
and that's why there are so many random little sound effects like that.
Yes.
Okay, see, you know what? I feel better because our chat from the DC33 team that is listening right now to this live recording, they're coming in here saying, yeah, that was a hard one. That one was difficult.
that was
thank
tough.
you for validating us, people.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's do one more. Whose turn was it? Do we
It's
we
Danielle's
remember?
turn to
Danielle,
Okay,
let's
yeah.
do Danielle one more time. You bring up the other list and give me a random number.
Let's do number. We did 12. We did 23. We did 18, right?
That
was the last one you did.
I did 15. I did
15. Let's do number 7.
7. Ooh, that's a good one. I've realized I keep saying it because it's ones I've seen. But when I think about it, I've seen all of these. So.
But that's why it's a good one because you've seen it.
Yeah.
So this one is an hour and 44 minutes long. What do you think?
Let's do the 23-minute timestamp.
23
Good
minutes. And here we go.
Look how big she's getting. Dante, you can see me?
It's Coco.
What's going on?
That's Coco.
It is Coco. Great.
I was like, who are they talking about? It was the baby sister that they were talking about when they were running past and he had just turned into a ghost and Dante was the only one that could see him.
Well, that was it. That was the timestamp game. You both did fantastic. Thank you for playing.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for
Thank you,
thanks for the
Chris.
game.
That
That
was,
was a good
fun.
one. That put us to a little bit of a test.
Well, that was fun.
Yes,
Definitely
that
challenging.
was
That was
good.
always challenging, but that was fun. Yes. Well done, Danielle.
Oh, no, well done to you too, Megan. That one for Monsters University, that one really messed us both up for a second. We're like,
And I gotta
what are
say,
you
like,
talking about?
Right? That's definitely one of the Pixar movies that I have not seen a lot of, to be honest.
Really?
So,
Or it's been a hot
yeah.
minute since I've seen that entire movie. Like it was
Same.
fine. It was cool to see it, but I don't know. Just that one did not make my top 10, 15 even. That did not make my top.
I don't think it's gonna make mine either. It didn't make my top 10, so spoiler alert. She's
Well,
not in the top 5.
Speaking of that top 5, I think we need to go ahead and jump right on into it. Did I
Let's
start us
do
off
it.
last time, Megan, or did you start us off?
I think you. Hang on. Let me look at my list here just to like jog my memory. I think you did start us off last time. Yes.
Okay. Would you like to start us off this time and then start by
Sure.
recapping us your 10 through 5 or your 10 through 6, and then we'll jump right into our number 5?
Can do. All right.
Okay.
So my number 10 for Pixar movies was Up. I do love that movie. Just not quite. I don't know. Can't be up on my list. Number 9, Monsters Inc. Number 8, Toy Story 2. 7, Inside Out. And my number 6 is Wall-E. So my
all good
number
things.
5, all good things. Yes. Now I think a lot of people are like, what the heck is her top 5 then? My number 5 is going to be Finding Nemo. This was a movie that I did see in theaters when I was a kid. It had me laughing so much because obviously Dory and her short-term memory loss was so funny to me. And just it was definitely an emotional story. I don't know. I love Dory and I loved all the characters in it. I thought that the plot was really good. So, and it's one that I feel like I can watch over and over again and still enjoy very much. So, as much as I don't like the ride at Disneyland, I do love the movie. So, that's got to be Finding Nemo for number 5.
Oh, it's so funny. Like, I don't know for you, Megan, but I was a little burned out by Finding Nemo. when that came out because
were you okay?
I don't know. It's just at the time when that movie released, I don't know, maybe it's because it was like the DVD era and that was the one DVD that every teacher had. So whenever there was a sick day or like, hey, we have no work for you, this is just gonna be a movie day, they, instead of like rolling in certain other movies like on the TV, everybody only had Finding Nemo. So I've only ever seen the first 30 to 40 minutes of Finding Nemo over and over and over again and nothing else. So yeah, Finding Nemo did not make that movie because I was slightly traumatized, but it's great.
I totally get it. Watching that, having to watch that over and over again, I can see how that would kind of ruin it for you. But I don't know. It was just one where I just thought it was so heartwarming. I loved the end. Obviously, it's one of the most traumatic beginnings to a Pixar movie.
Right.
With the whole Barracuda situation, but it still had to be top 5 for me because it's one that's near and dear to my heart. So
the music is great. I love the
music's
music in Finding
great.
Nemo.
Yeah, it's really cute. But yeah. So there it is. But what is your number 5 after you say your 10 through 6, of course?
Yes. Well, to recap, my number 10 was WALL-E. Number 9 was The Incredibles 2. Number 8 was Cars. Number 7 was Brave. Number 6 was Elemental. And my number 5 is going to be Toy Story 3.
Oh, Toy Story 3. Okay.
Out of like the Toy Story movies, Toy Story 3, I think is one of the only ones I like really genuinely liked where it made my top 10.
Interesting. Was it because it was kind of around the time that like we were going off on our own, doing our own thing?
I think that was it. I think when did Toy Story 3 come out? Hold on, I need to double check that date.
2010, as in the time, literally the exact year I was going to college. So it was the actual year. We were like synced up with Andy, and it hit home for sure. I cried in the theater when I saw that movie at the end.
Right. And for me, I would have been a 10th grader. And so it was kind of that transitional period for me of that movie. Yeah, I would say it's because we were synced up in the same timeline as Andy with that. Yeah. And I think that was super cool. And I
having
do have
to kind
more...
of let go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But also, I loved the character story. I loved Spanish Buzz. I still love Spanish Buzz.
Spanish Buzz, yes.
Oh my gosh.
That was
his
a good
relationship
one.
with Jesse, and I was like, okay, I'm here for this character development story. I still love their relationship. I think that's like couple goals right there is the cowboy and the cowgirl and the spaceman. I love that.
I don't know. I never really shipped them. I think it's still kind of weird.
Oh no, I think they're the perfect ship. I love them so much.
I didn't really ship Buzz and Jesse. Still don't. Still think it's kind of weird.
There's still a lot of people that think it should be Jesse and Woody, and I was like, no. Jesse.
I don't like that either. I don't know something about toys being together. It's like this is kind of.
I don't know.
Weird.
Did you ever have?
I don't like Bo Peep and Woody either.
I don't know if I necessarily like them either. I think their relation personally. I think their relationships kind of toxic, but that's just me anyway. And
Agreed. I like Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. That's the couple I ship right there.
Oh, ultimate couple goals is them. Those two for sure. They were literally made for each other.
Yes, exactly. Okay. All right. Well, I love that for you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Let's see. Number four. Okay. Kind of in the same timeline as Finding Nemo, around the same time. It's going to be The Incredibles, the first one.
Really?
Oh, yeah. When I saw this movie in theaters, because again, I'm just like not a big action person, but I like when things like push the envelope. Because to me, Disney animation and Pixar hadn't really come out with something that was like super intense, dark. And when The Incredibles came out, I was like, whoa, this is like crazy action that you wouldn't really expect from, I don't think Disney actually owned Pixar at this time yet, but
it was a weird transitional period.
It was it was like right before then. So I just thought it was so cool. I thought the action was great. Some of the one-liners were really good. It was funny. And I guess it's all about the nostalgia, which it usually is with these countdowns for me. Right. Incredibles had to end up at my number 4, but there she is. Love Frozone. Oh my God, the Frozone scene with his wife. Oh, hilarious.
Okay,
iconic.
that's a pretty good one. The quote alone, like,
thank you.
Retta good, yes. I am your wife.
I'm the greatest good you are ever gonna get. Phenomenal, iconic. So Had to put it there at top 5. But what is your number 4, Danielle?
My number 4 is actually a more recent Pixar movie that came out, and I really fell in love with it, y'all. It's Turning Red.
Oh, yay! I was wondering if you were gonna put in your top 5.
Right. Some people were really wondering, like, do you really like Turning Red? I think the funny thing is that I really related to the character, because some of these characters, I had a lot of those tendencies growing up. So I think it was more of it was a weird nostalgia movie. Not that I grew up with this movie, but looking back at these characters, I related to these characters a lot. Not necessarily like the immigrant family story, but I think it's because we grew up in the 2000s, the earlier 2000s.
It was the like millennial kid era. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Totally catering to us millennials. But the whole like drawing your crush in like a horrible manga style in your notebook,
a bunch of
I was
hearts.
like, cringe, throw up. That was me.
But I did that.
That
was me.
There was so many things of like, oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing. Oh my gosh, this was me back in like 4th and 5th grade. It was so bad.
So true. So true. Yes.
But I think I really loved the burning of the CD. Because they burned the Four Town remix, and I had a neighbor at the time, and her dad had all the crazy, like, before iTunes was really like a big thing, like the whole music library. And so she would burn CDs, and she had a whole pack of them, and she would burn like her own little mixes as like her invitations to her birthday parties. I still have some of them actually to this day.
That's a cool invite. Wow.
Isn't that cool? And then she had one of those like custom sticker makers that she put over top of the CD. So she was like the really cool kid in the neighborhood because she had the CD mixes. So funny.
Very Lisa Frank coded. Yeah.
Very Lisa Frank coded. Oh my gosh. Yes. An era. Me and Panda Painter, man. We lived in that era. But so that's why Turning Red made my number 4 spot, because I just here recently, I've related so much to that movie. Yes.
I love it so much. And of course, the music and Four Town from Turning Red. Absolutely iconic. They're songs that I listen to, again, on Disney Hits, on a little playlist all the time. So, yeah.
And they featured a lot of the Four Town music on the Sirius XM special that we did.
They did, yes. Ones that you wouldn't really think of. I mean, they had One True Love, Nobody Like You, and I think there was one more. But You Know What's Up or something like that.
I think that made like the bonus, the like end credits, but didn't make like the actual movie.
Yes, the movie, yeah.
Right.
Good stuff, Danielle. Love it. All right, so moving on to number 3. All right, my number 3 is gonna be Coco, and I know that this is some people's top Pixar movie. It's number 3 for me because, I mean, wow, does it hit the feels at the end of that movie, towards the end. It's a gorgeous telling of Dia de los Muertos and family relationships, both in life and in death. And it's, I grew up learning about that. I took Spanish class from 7th grade up until I graduated college. Like, I was always in a Spanish class.
That's
and
cool.
So I learned a lot about Dia de los Muertos and celebrated, of course, we did the little celebrations around November 1st and 2nd in our classes. So I love the holiday, although I don't celebrate myself. Of course, I am not Mexican, but I just think it was a beautiful telling of that. And, it was funny. The music was fantastic. Remember Me is one of the best Pixar and Disney songs of all time. Still makes you tear up a little bit in World of Color 1. I love that part of the show. And it's a phenomenal film. So I think the first time I actually watched it, for some reason I didn't see it in theaters, which I was kind of kicking myself for. The first time I watched it was on a plane from Hawaii.
When it came out in theaters, I did see it in theaters when this movie came out.
Okay.
And what's funny is that this is what started the whole controversy of, they played the Olaf's Frozen Adventure, the longer short before the movie, and the whole Mexican culture was just like, whoa. Did you think our movie wasn't going to bring people in? So you had to put Frozen in front of it? And they ended up having to remove the short after it in theaters.
Yep. I
Yes.
do remember that. Yes. Okay. No, I blanked that one out hard, but yes, now I remember that was kind of an issue. So yeah, they did not need a short before that movie.
They did not.
But it was smart of them to just be like, "Oop, our bad," and take it off. So yeah, because Coco itself is just a wonderful, not just like a Pixar film, it's just a wonderful film. So that's why it had to make top 3 for me. And yeah, I just love it. It's one that I can watch over and over again. 100%.
Well, before I give my commentary, number 3 was also Coco for me.
No way!
It was! We had our first
Our
double on
crossover
this
continues.
episode.
Woo!
So yes,
Yay!
I agreed. Coco, I was like, okay, does this go up further in my list? I'm like, okay, no, I think she's sitting pretty right there at number 3. And I agree with you 100%. I really love the music in this movie.
It's
I
so
think
good.
that really
Every song. Mhm.
every song. And you know what's funny is that I don't know. The Remember Me song, of course, is fantastic. But then the oh gosh, I call it the party song, but it's the Señoras, buenas noches. Whenever that plays in Epcot, I associate that so much with Epcot because they had it in Harmonious. There's a section of it currently in Luminous, and that is the first one where I like start jumping up and I start dancing along with it. Is that song?
It's a great song.
I want to say my favorite one though. I'm blanking on the name, but it's when Grandma gets put up on stage and she has to distract and she starts singing. Oh my gosh, what is the name of that song?
Oh yeah, no,
La Llorona? It's not La Llorona.
La Llorona, not La
Yeah, no, I think that might be it.
Llorona. Yeah, I think that's
I know
it.
I'm saying it wrong, but how she starts singing it and then the rest, everybody else like chimes in, and so does Dela Cruz. I love that one. That was probably one of my favorite songs, and I want to hear because I guess that one already exists. Like that wasn't made special for the movie. That was already a popular song beforehand.
Yes, La Llorona was a song beforehand. Yeah. Mhm.
Yes, but it made me go back and actually look up that song and listen to it. I was like, oh, this is great. I really love this song.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. And I do love the soundtrack because of that. I love all the songs that are sung in Spanish. There is, of course, a large portion in English, but I do love that it's like a nice mix. And it's like the world is mi familia or something at the end of the one with Miguel singing.
Yes. And we also have our mariachi band that's always here in Mexico, the Mexico Pavilion. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on their name too. I just was talking about them the other day.
I don't know if I've seen them yet.
They have they have a band name. They actually performed here recently during Hispanic Heritage Month. They performed at the Orlando City Pride Games. They played at the soccer games. They did the national anthem. They did the halftime show. They did everything.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Alicia just said it.
Mariachi Cobre. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And they are so good. There's some of the band members that have been part of this band. They actually have their own website and everything. And some of them have been playing and performing at Epcot since like right after the opening. In the 80s.
That's amazing.
And
Wow.
they are so talented and they are so amazing. So whenever they play a song from Coco, that makes me even more excited.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Oh yay. Oh, I'm so glad we had the same number 3.
Our twos and ones are definitely not going to mix though.
Probably not. I
if they do, I'll be
know number
shocked.
2. No, number 2 I know for sure because this was higher up on your list. It is The Incredibles 2. And I know this is so strange to have in the top 2 for some people. Be like, what, are you serious? A sequel in your top 2? I saw this film twice in theaters. I was that obsessed with it because Jack is the cutest little baby, and I love his little when he discovers his powers and he's flying through the different dimensions and stuff, and when he has his fight with the raccoon, I think it's so funny.
Oh, the raccoon is my favorite character. He is his own character in himself. He is fantastic.
He totally is. And just Jack's little coups and causing absolute mayhem because he has a million different powers. I think it's so clever and hilarious. And I thought that was, I was so glad that was a big portion of the film because they did tease that in the first one, right? Towards the end.
Right.
So, and of course, this was the film that we had waited for what was it? 15, 17 years, something like that. A long, long time. People have been wanting an Incredibles sequel. So it was kind of cool that this came out, and again, another intense Pixar movie because it got very dark. You know, this villain wanted to unalive all supers, right?
Right.
So she did some pretty crazy stuff, but there's Jack and the kids to come and save the day. So
that's what I was
really
going to say in the other clip beforehand when we were talking about Incredibles, and I got cut off because of my computer freezing. But I feel like the Incredibles movies were the first time that when we watched them, it was showcasing that no, a bad guy is going to hurt kids. If the opportunity presents itself.
This could be real. Yeah.
And us watching cartoons growing up, we're like, oh, nothing ever bad ever happens to the kids. And then the Incredibles really switched that narrative of like, oh no, if they're truly evil, they will come after everybody. And I was like, whoa, like that's an interesting conversation. Eye-opening, right? Yes. And I feel like Incredibles 2, it wasn't as dark in that sense, but because I feel like the kids were a little bit older, a little more mature, even though they really weren't very much.
I know it was a continuation of the first one, but yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like in a little bit they matured a little bit, and so it wasn't as like intense. I feel like in the second movie,
it wasn't as intense, right? I think Syndrome was a little bit more unhinged and dark in terms of the fact that he was, you know, going after the whole family,
right?
But definitely, maybe it was, I guess, a little more entertaining in that way for the second one for me. To me it was like,
what I thought was entertaining was some of these other super characters, and I feel like it was definitely a throwback to the 50s and 60s of like anything could be a superpower, and how there's that one superhero, I can't remember his name, but literally his superpower was acid reflex.
Yes, he would spit acid. Yeah.
And I was like, we're going to take this condition and we're going to turn it into a superpower. That's one way to do it.
Hilarious. I think that's great. So it is, again, one that I saw in theaters twice, and I could watch on Disney Plus over and over again because I think it's so funny, entertaining, and cute, of course, with Jack. So yeah, and that's of course what the Incredicoaster is a spin-off of is Incredibles 2, because Jack is using all of his powers at one time and they're having to chase him. So yeah, there she is, number 2. What is yours, Danielle?
My number 2 is Ratatouille.
I love you. I love you.
Were you getting nervous that this wasn't even on my list? Were you getting nervous?
I was getting really nervous.
You know, and honestly, this was almost going to be my number 1, but it got switched there at the very end. I scratched them off and I swapped them. Got balloons going on because I did peace signs. Balloons. But so it was my number 2 option, and I don't know. I feel like this is just one of those movies of you can turn it on. Some of it's the music. Again, a lot of these choices are so much in the Pixar music, and a lot of these, like our top ones, have some of the best music options in them, I believe.
Yes, for sure.
Right? And you can turn this one on. It can play in the background. You can listen to it anytime. I love walking into the current France area with all the Ratatouille extension back over there and listening to the music. Even though I won't wait in line for the ride, if the line is over like 30 minutes, I won't wait for it. But I don't mind the attraction itself. I think it's very cute.
It's so cute. Oh, I love it.
I think I just like the movie. I'm just like, at one point, me and my sister, we got, and she actually still does this with her husband, which is so sweet, but they will recreate that scene where he combines like the cheese and the strawberries and like the music swells and you can like taste the differences. We did that. We set up this little charcuterie board and we would wait until it got to that point in the movie and then we would eat them at the same time with Remy. And that was cute. Really sweet. So I think I have good memories associated with it, but Ratatouille, number 2.
Oh, Danielle, woman after my own heart. Because Ratatouille is my number 1. And I feel like a lot of people are going to know that because I explicitly say it in a lot of my videos that Ratatouille is my favorite Pixar movie.
Did you ever get the shoulder plush of him?
I never got the shoulder plus. But I do have. I wish I had him with me. I have the Big Feet plush. He was an immediate purchase for me when they came out with that thing, and he was at World of Disney. I'm like, yeah, that's mine. And but I did get. This was actually a video that did quite well a couple years ago. The the one that would roll up your shirt. It was a magnet.
Yes.
And it was it was a meal, and it would go. He's sitting on my in another room right now. But yeah, I bought him. And it's a little cheese controller that you control him with. It's hilarious.
Emil is my favorite character.
I love Emil. I love Emil. I think he's underrated, and just the cutest and funniest little brother of Remy. But yeah, I also have great memories associated with Ratatouille. We would take road trips with my family up to Montana, which is a long drive for those who don't know. It's about an 18-hour plus drive from Southern California. And that was our movie. We would always watch Ratatouille on these long road trips. And that was with my sister at a very young age. And it was just one that would put us in a good mood, and make us laugh. I still quote Rat Patootie all the time. Rat and Patootie. And it's just a great movie, and I love the music, and I was really happy to see it in World of Color 1. I'm like, oh, they put a Ratatouille segment. I love it. So yeah, there she is at my number 1. So I'm glad you put it at number 2, Danielle.
Thank you. I think my number 1 might surprise some people.
I'm excited.
So it's Inside Out.
Oh, I love. Yes. Great movie.
I said this to my mom. Because of course I have all these lists, y'all. I have to go back through and I need to list them off to my family to see if they would agree with my list or not. And I said Inside Out for number 1, and Dapper Mom was like, "What? over Ratatouille?
Really?
Why is this even in your top 5?" And I said, "Mom, when Inside Out came out, our family was going through so much at that time. And this was the movie that I went, and I think I saw it in theaters, actually. And I think this was the first time I had a good cry in Inside Out, where I had I had so many emotions. Like, what is it? The whole joke with my family is I'm not a big crier. Like, having Lily on the other episode, and if you have not listened to that episode yet, or you skipped that one, go back and listen to it. She does get a little emotional at one point of the episode.
Yeah.
And I don't get emotional like Lily does. I do not express myself through tears. And the whole joke with my family is I take those emotions and I compress them down until they turn into a diamond inside of me. So when I do cry, it's like a lot. It's like a lot. It's ugly. It's so ugly. Yeah. So I think Inside Out at that time was that movie that kind of broke me, but I loved it for it.
Yeah.
I really, really loved it.
Because when it can make the non-crier cry, it's a good movie. Yeah.
It is a good movie. And so many of the awkwardness of again, maybe it's just turning red and that nostalgia, looking back at myself and relating to certain things also as a kid growing up too. And that's where I'm so hopeful for Inside Out 2. I want this to be so good. And if they mess this up, it's gonna make me so angry. I don't know.
She's gonna have anger working overtime in that brain, Danielle.
Right. Well, and then now it's making me turning red has so much to do with puberty, and now Inside Out 2 is going to deal with that also. And I'm like, okay, I'm wondering if this is going to showcase the inner workings of my mind during that time in my life also. I am so ready for it.
I think so. I'm here for it. I am also hopeful that it's going to be good. I do think it will. I think they've been working on this one for a while. So I have high hopes.
Right.
And especially with all the emotions that we're going to be introduced to.
Right. And so looking back on one of our first episodes, and we were talking about Disney attractions, right? Emotional Whirlwind made my list. And
that's right. Yes. Yeah.
That this being my number 1 movie is the reason why Emotional Whirlwind, though it's not a crazy, fantastic attraction, because I love that movie so much, is the reason why that was on my list from then also.
I see. I gotcha. It is a beautiful ride, especially at night when all of the little emotions light up in the back. You have all the little balls and their different colors. So cute. The music's playing.
Because the music also made my top 10 also for our music countdown too.
You are an Inside Out girly. You're an Inside Out girly, 100%.
I've been giving you hints this entire time, and now it's all coming together.
It is. it all meant something, and here it is. But yeah, the story of Bing Bong, of course, that's what got everybody and still gets people to this day.
It actually, you know what's funny is that it wasn't Bing Bong that
made you cry.
It was the very end of accepting of needing help.
Oh,
and I was just
yeah.
ugly crying.
When you realize that sadness plays a pivotal role in Riley's development. Yeah. And growing up.
Right. And I think some of that also comes from being the oldest sister of the family. And like, you are the one that, like, if everything is going wrong, you are the one that has to be the positive face for your siblings.
Mm-hmm. Be the strong one. Mm-hmm.
Be the strong one. And so, like, don't associate the negative and the happy. They can't exist at the same time. So Inside Out really was like, no, you can have both at the same time. And that it is okay to ask for help. And that is so not my personality. I will run myself into the ground before I ask anybody for help. That is just my type 3 personality also.
Same. And oldest sibling trait for sure. Yeah.
See, and I think this movie really pulled that out for me. Was a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
look at us getting
totally
theological over here on the episode.
I know. I know it. I do love that as your top choice. And I love Inside Out as well. It's a truly great movie. Can't wait for the sequel coming out in just a few months here, which is crazy. So yeah. Oh, that was so good.
Good ones. Good list, everybody. Me and Megan mostly, and everybody listening to us on the podcast. Thank you so much.
Yes. I hope you all enjoyed our list. And of course, thank you so much for listening. If you've gotten this far in the episode, we appreciate you sticking around. And we're so excited for, of course, the rest of the season. We're just a few episodes in. If you want to suggest any countdown lists that we should do, of course, you can email us. That's DisneyCountdownShow@gmail.com or DM us on our socials. And of course, be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Hello to our subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. Or you can join the Patreon fam, of course, for all of our bonus content and to just join an awesome community. We have really cool people in the as part of the Patreon fam. You get to join our virtual hangs, which is really fun. We have our Discord server, so lots of fun stuff coming up. But thank you all so much for listening. And of course, you can always let us know if you agree or disagree with our countdowns. We like seeing those opinions too.
Or even feel free to use that email that Megan just mentioned, the DisneyCountdownShow@gmail.com. Feel free to also send us your messages. So like how we did earlier in this episode with our fan mail. And Amber, aka Magic Rays O Sunshine, she asked us about mobile magic. We would love to answer those questions for you too here on the podcast. That's great, and that ties in with our fan mail stuff. So let us know. Send those over to us. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, please. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much. We are back next week with another countdown for you. But of course, until then, have a very magical day.
And night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. Who's your friend that loves to play bing, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong? This episode of the Disney Countdown Show is brought to you by our members of our exclusive Club DC 33.
Mayor B 13.
Zach Brown.
Lindsay Marie.
Danielle Boudreau.
Liz.
Kayla.
Maggie, Millennial Speaker of the House.
Sarah.
Piper.
Nikki.
Mark O.
Janelle.
Hannah Trebert.
Stephanie.
Cammie.
Haley Rose.
Debbie F.
Gab.
Shalimar. Vicky Lovett. To have your name read at the end of our new episodes and to receive a bunch of magical perks, please check out our Patreon via the link in the episode notes.
Or visit patreon.com/Disney Countdown Show. We'll see you there.